life of that property. I have interviewed the prior owner before Kouri Richins bought it. I've interviewed the current owners. I've traced all the, after Kouri Richins bought it, tried to sell it, I have reviewed each of those 13 offers to purchase the property. And I've also looked at the bank accounts and the loan documents for her purchase.
Let's please start with the drive-by. Scott, can I get 6-7? Do you recognize this?
I do.
Is that the Midway Mansion?
It is.
State moves to admit 6-7.
No objection.
6-7 is admitted.
Scott, can you zoom in a bit?
Look, I get it's not done, but that house is ugly aesthetically, and I hate using that word because millennials have killed it, or whoever has used it as the new literal. It's ugly. This looks confused. It looks like someone just kept adding things because they wanted to have a big house. I mean, you can have a large house and have it look nice. This just looks like it looks awful. She paid money for this and not on a discount? Like, this is a crime against architecture.
Scott, can I get 6-8, please?
I'm not a houseologist, but that's ugly as hell.
Ms. Carrington, do you recognize this document?
I do.
What is it?
This is the real estate purchase contract, commonly known as a REPC, that K. Richins Realty submitted as her offer to buy the property in December of 2021.
The state moves to admit 6-8.
No objection.
6-8 is admitted.
Scott, if you could zoom in, please, on that first kind of top section. Ms. Carrington, what information does this provide?
Like I said, I'd buy it on a discount. I mean, it doesn't have a sewer system, so that's going to be like, I'll give you $10 for it. Look, I'll pay more for the land. Well, okay, wait, quick question, and I know this is probably a grand assumption on stereotypes, and I'm pretty sure that Nick bought liquor in Utah, but if I'm buying this property, there is a booze outlet near me. Like, I'm okay with dirty looks when I go to buy booze. No problem with that. I just want to make sure that they are available.
So this tells us in the far upper corner, this is Sierra, and that's the bait stamp that identifies that this came from Sierra West Capital, Matt Strong being the primary lender.
Jen, I have come to the realization that there are women out there, now they exist, and I am glad they do, that find happiness in doing like laundry and cleaning, and I am simply not one of them. So Mr. Mo is terrified of having to deal with another woman and her hormones and craziness, but as long as I can get out of laundry, I'm kind of okay with it.
It gives, and then if you go first line kind of over on the left, 2/23/2021 is the date. K. Richins Realty is the buyer. Douglas Roy Lance is the seller. And then a couple lines down on the right, it says the earnest money deposit of $50,000. And then as you go down, it gives the street address is 106 North Legacy. That's why I call it Legacy Way. It's in Midway. That's why people call it the Midway Mansion. And then the parcel number, et cetera.
Then it says C addendum. We'll get to that one in a minute. But Scott, if you can scroll down. What information does the purchase price paragraph provide?
So it tells us what the agreed purchase, well, the offered purchase price is $2.9 million for this property. And then the accounting on the left shows that there's a $50,000 deposit, and then the balance will be paid at settlement, and then the purchase price there. And then I know that this is accepted because it's got initials on both and the dates on both, the buyer and seller.
Scott, can you just scroll down all the way through the next page?
Scrolling,
Keep scrolling.
broad.
Keep scrolling.
Keep
scrolling.
Pages scrolling.
Let's stop there. Thank you.
Scrolling.
Let's zoom in on the contract deadlines through the signature. Yep. Thank you. Ms. Carrington, what information does this provide?
So this gives a chronology of different steps that need to be taken. It's very typical in every transaction, most transactions. Sellers have a duty to disclose any of the warts and problems with the house. Those are due by January 7th of 22. Due diligence means that's the opportunity for the seller, or excuse me, that's an opportunity for the potential buyer to do any homework, anything that they need to do as far as due diligence before they sign. That's due February 4th. Financing and appraisals, that's also for the buyer to arrange financing, funding, do any appraisals that they want to do, and they have until January 7th to do that. And the settlement deadline, that means this deal has to close by March 4th of 2022.
Does that March 4th date hold any significance in this case?
Yes, it does.
What's that?
That's the day that this property deal closed and Kouri Richins purchased this house.
Did you purchase it on March 4th or March 5th?
I'm sorry, March 5th. March 4th is the date that Eric Richins died.
Thank you. Let's discuss the warts and problems, please. Scott, if we can go down to just keep it up, zoomed out right there. Is that the addendum that was referred to earlier?
Yes, it is. Addendum 1.
Okay, I'm going to
Oh, good.
walk up and present.
Okay, let me just inbigonate this. Addendums for 106 North Legacy Midway. This transaction includes 2 parcels. Parcel 1, a strip of land running adjacent to Midway Lane, is designated open space and is approximately 1.2 acres. Parcel 2 is approximately 8.75 acres. Acreage is acquired by county records. Responsibility is upon buyer to verify acreage and to be satisfied with acreage. Seller makes no representations with regards to boundaries, mets and bounds, acreage, parcel placement, or integrity of parcels next to neighboring lands. Seller accepts parcels as is with regards to boundaries, property records, description deficiencies, markings. With or without surveys, buyer is responsible for procuring any surveys, new surveys, owned surveys, in order to confirm markings, boundaries, mets and bounds, desires, or actually survey lines or improvements in description. Let's see, buyer is to, so this is number 2, buyer is to acknowledge and affirm and agree that these parcels 1 and 2, are sold as is. Buyer acknowledges, affirms, and agrees that both building structures have extensive vandalism, theft, as well as flooring and other structural concerns that may need or will require replacement or repair. Due to delays in construction and permitting approval process, the structures have been idle, exposed to the elements, and are not habitable, and are also suitable in many ways for continued construction. Damage has occurred because of the idle status of the projects. Buyer affirms that the buyer's intent moving forward with the building project or the abandoning project together is based upon buyer's own investigation of said structures in their state of idleness, disrepair, unfinished, and unhabitable quality. Additionally, animals may have taken up residence in the ventilation systems, for which there may be additional damage. Buyer acknowledges and affirms that buyer accepts the property is unfinished, disassembled, unrepaired, damaged state, and agrees to confirm through buyer's own due diligence which repairs and remediation efforts are necessary. To what? So not only has it been idle and the flooring is bad, but animals are living in the vents. I mean, how did Kouri manage to get this deal for $2 million?
With a printed copy of 6-8. And this is the addendum, am I right, that discloses all the warts and problems?
Yes.
I've circled a few of the paragraphs on that disclosure, that addendum. Can you please read those paragraphs aloud to the jury?
Okay.
What?
Bear with me. This is paragraph 2. Buyer is to acknowledge and affirm and agrees that these parcels, parcel 1, parcel 2, are sold as is. Buyer acknowledges, affirms, and agrees that both building structures have extensive vandalism, theft, as well as flooring and other structural concerns that may need or will require replacement or repair. Due to delays in construction and the permitting/approval process, the structures have been idle, exposed to the elements, and are not habitable, and are also suitable in many ways for continued construction. Damage has occurred because of the idle status of the projects. Buyer affirms buyer's intent in moving forward with the building project or abandon the project altogether based on buyer's own investigation of said structures in their state of idleness, disrepair, unfinished, and uninhabitable quality. Additionally, animals may have taken up residence in the ventilation systems for which there may be additional damage. Buyer acknowledges and affirms that buyer accepts the property in its unfinished, disassembled, unrepaired, damaged state and agrees to confirm through buyer's own due diligence which repairs and remediation efforts are necessary. Buyer acknowledges and affirms buyer's own actual or potential costs of repair, remediation, demolition, remodel, restart, reconstruction, and or completion in moving forward with the building projects. Buyer agrees to purchase and accept the parcels, buildings, structures, and all aspects of the purchase of said parcels on an as-is basis and waives and releases any and all claims against seller or any deficiency, unexpected outcome, or unknown condition, cost, delay, failure, or liability. Paragraph 3. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that sale of said property is sold without all or necessary or desired permits, certificates, or allowances to build or complete the building process from Wasatch County or other governmental agencies. And buyer is and buyer is to be solely responsible for obtaining any required building permits from Wasatch County or any other necessary government entity. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that seller's building process was halted by the governmental permitting or allowance process, and as such, buyer intends to purchase these parcels as is, with full understanding that buyer may also face challenges and costs in obtaining necessary or desired permitting allowances to build, rebuild, or complete the building and occupancy process. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that the structures do not have certificates of occupancy, necessary approvals through all required inspections, and other indicators of structural habitability. Paragraph 4. Buyer acknowledges that seller has been working with the Army Corps of Engineers over a lengthy period of time, and that this entity is currently requiring additional wetlands evaluation of various materials, including water, environmental, etc. The Army Corps of Engineers may require other test requirements and certifications, etc., that are to be completed to their satisfaction. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that the Army Corps is an independent government entity separate of Wasatch County, and that the Army Corps may require its own permitting, which Wasatch County may also require in order to obtain building permits. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that the Army Corps of Engineers does not monitor or collaborate with Wasatch County in
Okay, whoever got Kouri to buy this money pit, my hat off to you. I mean, I don't know how much you were probably sweating your collective balls off, but you got some idiot to buy your thing. I mean, now it's money that Kouri Richins promised, so I don't know that you actually ever saw any of it, but can you imagine the buyer that sold this to Kouri? I mean, they were probably like, "You really wanna buy this? Like, are you sure?" They were running away from the table. Corey's all excited, and the people that are selling this are like, "Are you for serious?" And
anyway. Wasatch County may or may not issue building permits independent of the Army Corps of Engineers. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that buyer, not seller, is responsible for moving forward with the Army Corps of Engineers and all other governmental organizations that may have oversight or control of the parcels and building projects and occupancy certification processes. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that the process of moving forward could take considerable time, present costs, delays, hardships, and burdens to buyer. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that buyer does not require any contribution from or assistance of seller with regard to obtaining all necessary permits, certificates, allowances, or approvals to restart the building process or complete said process and obtain all necessary inspections, approvals, certificates, permits, or allowances. Paragraph 5. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that the parcels have sewer rights, but that the sewer is not yet hooked up, is below grade, and will have.
okay, Kouri, help me figure this out. Was land there so incredibly I mean, is it an area that is experiencing growth of the upwardly mobile who want to have, kind of their own McMansion with some land? Is that an area that is going to facilitate or, grow like that? Because having lived in a rural area, to put in a septic tank for that particular size house or to get the sewer lines is going to be pretty expensive. When I am the voice of reason, something has gone terribly wrong. Who the hell again, whoever sold this to Kouri must have just been laughing as they left.
To be pumped. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms all necessary steps to obtain sewer function is the responsibility of the buyer and may be required to be on site on the subject parcels. Paragraph 6. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that additional or dedicated open space, i.e. wetlands, or other required remediation or mitigation may or will be required by the Army Corps of Engineers, and that to achieve mitigation or remediation, additional properties may be required for such. Thus, a potential offsite property may be obtained by the buyer. And if not on an additional offsite property, then remediation or
Legitimately, all that is missing is the Stephen King, subsection where he admits that it was built on a pet cemetery on top of, Pennywise's nesting ground on top of the hotel where The Shining was built.
mitigation may or will be on site to the subject parcels. There is a mitigation process that will need to be coordinated with the Army Corps of Engineers. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that there may or will be costs related to preparing lands to offset any disturbed wetlands. An outside consultant with BioWest has collected data and submitted data and recommendations to the Army Corps of Engineers. The Army Corps of Engineers still need to make its final decisions and will determine a mitigation plan with permits in cooperation with buyer. Paragraph 12. Buyer acknowledges, understands, and affirms that the Army Corps of Engineers may or will require further evaluation and study of wetlands underneath mounds of fill soil on the parcels. So seller will provide access to buyer's consultants or any other third parties related to studying groundwater or soils for the Army Corps of Engineers.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Ms. Carrington, in your experience reviewing REPSIs, have you ever reviewed a REPSI like that?
No.
Nope.
Scott, can you please bring up 6-9? I will retrieve the exhibit. Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Carrington, do you recognize exhibit 6-9?
I do.
What is it?
This is the settlement statement for the Legacy Way Midway Mansion property, where K. Richins Realty is the buyer and Douglas Roylance is the seller. And this is the final version of the sale.
The state moves to admit 6-9.
No objection.
6-9 is admitted.
Ms. Carrington, what information does this present? And if it's easier to step down, please do it. I don't know what's easiest.
It might be since I don't have a... Okay, this is not actually as complicated as it appears. So this is the property address here, the buyer, the seller, and the lender is Sierra West Capital. So that's the Sierra West Matt Strong stuff. So over here shows the settlement date and the disbursement date as March 4th of 22. And then this is the internal file number at the title company. This shows the sale price. This is the buyer's version. There is a seller's version, but this is the buyer's version. This is the sale price of the property at $2.9 million. And then here shows 2 of the 4 loans on this property. So here's the original loan from Sierra West to this $2,624,850. There's another lender from the Burns, and that loan is $420,000. These are some prorations. This section here, are you all right if I keep going?
Please, what's that section there?
This section, these are the fees associated with these loans. So the first position lender is Sierra West Capital, this $2.6 million loan. They charged $124,850 at the outset just for the loan. And then on top of that, it accrues interest going forward. It's a 6-month balloon. So this being March 4th of 22, she has to pay that off by September 4th of 2022. The next two, the $150 and the $20,000 relate to this loan, the $420,000 by the Burns. And then Scott, could you please scroll down? Thank you. That's great. So then here, these are the title insurance costs that are paid to GT Title Services, who's the title company in this transaction. So these are the different costs associated with that. So the first one, the lender's coverage premium, that's for the first position, the Sierra West one. Second position is the Burns, the $420,000 one. The third position loan is going to be this. For some reason, this is down here. I don't know why, but this third position lender funds is $150,000. That's an aggregation of a bunch of people who got together and they pooled their resources to loan $150,000 on this deal. And here is the buyer's portion of the real estate commissions, the 2% at $58,000. The other side paid $1,000 per their agreement, and then some recording fees. On top of this, there's one more loan from David Cocker Hands that came in before this. He gave her the money for the earnest money. So did Matt Strong. So they both gave her the $50,000 for the earnest money. But later, the fourth position lender of $67,000 recorded his deed. I don't understand why it's not incorporated here, but it's not. But it is still attached and recorded on the property. So this tells us that all in all, there needs to be $3,201,230 that the buyer needs to come up with. And as I said, there's also that other $67,000. So she borrowed $3,259,000 against this property to buy it for $2.9 million. And then there was a little overage. And so this $87,240 came back to her. And we can see that go back to her bank account. And that hits her bank account.
This doesn't math.
So does this show that she borrowed $3.2 million from other people to close on a $2.9 million house, and that closing she walked away with $80,000?
87,000, yes.
I guess don't
On the
play
day that the Midway Mansion
the player hate
closed,
the game.
how much was it worth?
2.9 million, because that's what she paid for it. That was the agreed price on that for that transaction.
Is it worth? Is the real estate market like other markets in that the value of something, whether it's gold, oil, real estate, the true value on any given day is what a willing buyer and willing seller agree to?
Yes, and so in addition to the fact that that's what the market dictates, the IRS rules also say that a transaction is valued between a willing seller and a willing buyer, and industries function like that all the time. Business valuation, a forensic accountant who conducts a business valuation of a business will use that same concept.
Did you use that same concept in valuing all the properties involved in this case?
I did, because that's what she paid for them.
Scott, can we get 5-114, please?
Sure.
Bless you. Ma'am, do you recognize this agreement?
I do.
What is it?
It is a loan agreement reflecting that large loan between Sierra West Capital and K. Richins Realty. And this was a response from the title company, Griffith and Turner Title, in response to a prosecution subpoena.
Your Honor, the state moves 5-114 into evidence.
No objection.
5-114 is admitted.
And just, Scott, yeah, perfect. So this is, am I right? Is this the loan agreement between K. Richins Realty and Sierra West for the Midway Mansion?
It is.
And Sierra West was the biggest lender at $2.6 million.
That's right. Yes.
Scott, could you just scroll down on page 1? Scott, could you go to page 12, please? And is this part of what is, are we looking at what is known generally as a closing packet?
Yes, that would be consistent. Yes.
These are the closing documents on the Midway Mansion, at least this, the closing documents for the largest funder on the Midway Mansion.
That's right. Yes.
And is this a signature page?
Yes, it is.
And is that signature notarized on the 5th of March?
Yes, that's correct.
Scott, can you go to page 21, please? Is this another different signature page?
Yes, this one is basically acknowledging that the company that's buying this authorizes Kouri D. Richins to act on its behalf.
Scott, can you go to 27, please? Is this yet another signature page in the closing documents?
Yes.
Can you go to 32, Scott? I'm sorry, yeah, let's go to 32. 32. Is that yet another signature page in the closing documents?
Yes.
And 33, Scott? Ms. Carrington, is that yet another notarized signature page in the closing documents?
It is.
Thanks, Scott. Ms. Carrington, based on your analysis, did Ms. Richins have the ability to service the $3.2 million in debt when it came due in 6 months from closing?
She did not.
Scott, can I get 2-14, please? Ma'am, do you recognize this document?
I do.
What is it?
It's an email string between Matt Strong and Kouri Richins that was returned pursuant to a prosecution subpoena from Sierra West Capital and Matt Strong.
And does this email string in part discuss how much money Kouri Richins estimated would be required to finish the Midway Mansion? We can scroll through it.
Yes. This is the one where she's asking him to loan her the earnest money, the $50,000 for the project.
In part, yes.
Right.
The state moves to admit 2-14.
No objection.
2-14 is admitted.
Scott, can you publish the part you had highlighted on our screens?
Scott, let me know you're ready. Okay.
Let me give.
Okay, so yes, Paul Benson knows his stuff. He's selling a Park City property right now for 42 million. Okay, 42 million. He's got 5 offers in the first week. Insane. So, or yes, so this property is buying at 2.9 million, then 3 million in renovation, ARV 16 million. Absolutely insane numbers. Someone's going to make a killing on this. That's where I need your help. Thoughts, ideas. Realistically, obviously, I don't have $3 million for renovations. Coming up with the 2.9 million is going to be a challenge enough. So what should I do with this? Do you think I should wholesale it at a county assessed price? Do you think I should close on it, get it dried in, windows and doors, maybe exterior, then sell it to someone to finish it? Do you want to partner in on it? Do you want someone or something with it? Honestly, I'm open to any and all ideas with this one. It's definitely out of my league, but the margins are so insane that I had to pick it up and then figure it out. Ha ha ha, help. Let's do something with it. Not sure what. Maybe your Heber guy wants to buy it as is from me and have him remodel it with MCC double close or assign it over to him. Maybe he just wants to invest in it. Honestly, I don't know with this one. Haha, something is there, just finding the right direction to go with it. With the 5K, if you make it work, awesome. If you can't, that's fine too. You do what you're comfortable doing. The numbers are tight on this one, so I thought it might be a challenge, but for real, if you can't make it work, that's totally fine. Just let me know. I attached a contract here if you want to read it through. Someone read the contract and thought, this is great. I'm going to give her money. Would they like to donate to my for-profit charity?
This comes to $3 million to renovate the Midway Mansion.
Objection, Your Honor. That's not consistent with what he just admitted.
It's a different question. Can you please restate it? Make sure we're listening to the question that he asked. If you'd say it again.
Ms. Carrington, based upon your financial analysis, did Ms. Richins have or have access to $3 million for renovations of the Midway Mansion?
It's not the nut.
Hold on. What was your objection?
Same objection, Your Honor. He's misstating what's in front of him as far as the
His
evidence.
question does not relate to this. Any others?
Yeah, it's not in the document.
Objections?
Heifer.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Not that I'm aware of.
Thanks, Scott. Ms. Carrington, did you invest?
Oh, Kouri, sweetheart. Listen, look, you were pulling off the damsel in distress. Like, I bet you're wondering how I got, here at the defense table. It's a crazy story. You are now pulling and starting to look very smug and very entitled. Now, I don't know if you've taken a temperature around the room and around the country, but no one really likes you. So maybe keep the scared damsel in distress and keep the severe case of cunt off your face.
Investigate or try to trace any money flowing to the Midway Mansion project once Kouri Richins closed on it?
I did look, yes.
Did you find any money flowing to that project?
I did not find any money flowing to that project. There's one that is a maybe,
Okay.
but no, nothing significant.
What's the maybe?
It's in the neighborhood of about $3,000, I think. It's in that, the reason it's a maybe, is that your question? The reason it's a maybe is it's during that time frame and it's to an entity that, and I'm sorry, I really can't remember which entity, but there's one that I thought might relate to this project, looking for, what she usually does when she acquires a project, she moves forward. And so I'm thinking she probably does the same thing here. There's one that I recall fits that category, but it's minimal.
So at most, she, as best you can tell, invested maybe $3,000 into the Midway Mansion.
That's correct.
Oh my God.
Did you investigate whether Kouri Richins tried to sell the Midway Mansion?
Yes.
Did she?
Yes, she
Ooh,
did.
She's
When?
getting angry.
She listed the property on March 12th of 2022, so the week following her acquisition of it.
That's also a week and a day following Eric Richins' death, right?
That's true.
Did Kouri Richins ever sell the property?
She did not.
What ultimately happened to the property?
After 12 offers that were made and canceled for one reason or another, actually, let me restate that, please. After, I believe there are 7 or 8 that were offered before her note was due. And then after that, she continued to try to sell it unsuccessfully. And at some point, the lender, Matt Strong, foreclosed or recorded a he recorded a document, notice of default and election to sell. So basically started the foreclosure process.
And did the 12 failed contracts all fail during the diligence period?
Yes, they did.